Welcome to Through the Lens of Astrology. I'm your host, Heather Arielle. And this episode is, we're going to celebrate Taurus. We just had the sun move a transition from Aries to Taurus. And last week I talked about creative ways to help us when energy is transitioning. I mean, I get a little wonky. I'm still a little wonky right now. Because zodiac signs that are next to each other are so different. So we had the fiery, fast moving Aries. And okay, now we're into Taurus, which is the most grounded of all the zodiac signs. It is the slowest energy. But we have to remember it's not either or. Okay. Everything we did and learned from the time that the sun was in Aries, all right, it's still with us. The whole point is to connect energy, right? It's each zodiac sign as we go around, we're connecting the energy where everything we do, we're like, it's in our pocket. We're going to bring it with us and we're going to then add to it. All right. So, what are we going to add? We had this fast, hopefully, as I talked a lot about Aries is, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to fight for that. I'm going to fight for you. Hopefully you figured out something or someone you wanted to fight for and you connected to the fearless part of you. Sometimes we can get burned out with that because it burns so hot and we go so fast, then we lose patience. So Taurus is there to slow us down, but we're still burning. Okay. But it's more of a slow burn. Okay. So that's what you think about. It's not like we have to you know, kick something out, right? It's not like we're letting go. It's we're adding, okay? And we're focusing because Taurus is okay, it's fixed energy. It's I can see right in front of me. I can see where I'm going. And it's the slow burn and it is the most connected to the physical plane, right? So it is about getting real. It is about getting practical. But because of that fixed day I talked about last week, make sure you figure out, okay, what are you doing? Because Taurus really allows to achieve something. It gets you to the finish line. Okay. It's like, yeah, if we do this, okay, where it's like keep your eye on the prize. All right. So we're gonna get focused. All right. I need to get focused. All right. So this is going to help me too. Remember, I'm part of the group. All right. I'm not above it. I'm just part of it. And if you're listening, yeah, that makes you part of the group. It doesn't even matter why you're listening. Keep that in mind. When you give your energy to something or someone, even if you feel like, let's make fun of this or oh, I'm really into it. You're it's changing you and you're changing it. It's like that's the energy connection. So keep that in mind. Yeah. So if you're listening, and I welcome everyone. I just saw what Bill Maher did, Adulting. It's a wonderful show that he just did. And he said, oh, are you in QAnon? You know what? I welcome everyone. As an audience member. And it's like, I am very inclusive. Okay. I believe it's like anyone wants to listen to my show. Okay. Listen to it. All right, here we are. All right, Taurus. Let's look at the Taurus card. Okay. Now, okay, so, Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac. All right. And I love this. This artwork is by artist Tom Cummins. All right. It's from my Oracle deck that I created with artist Tom Cummins, The Fundamentals of Astrology. So and I just love it. It's like you get all the senses, all right? And it is, there are two big things with Taurus energy and that we're going to talk about. One, I talk about it as the connection to value. All right. So it's value in all senses of meaningful value. I mean, you always hear me talk about Mika Brzezinski as the ideal Taurian soul. Okay. Her whole brand is value and on the most meaningful levels. Like, yeah, she wants women to make money. Okay. But she's also like, what do you value yourself, value others, value women? That's the highest manifestation of Taurian energy. Okay. So we're going to talk about how can we connect to our values and value ourselves and value others with this energy. But then there's also, yeah, the money. It's like, think of Shark Tank. That's a Taurian show. People who literally are saying, I'm going to put a money value on what you do. This is how I value what you do, money wise. That's, Elizabeth Warren, all is expert on money, right? And she's Taurus. So it can be really just money, but also what do we value as a belief system? Okay. Now, the other big thing about Taurus, yeah, the second big thing, because now I always say it's the most connected to the physical world. And Dr. Tony Nader talks about this. He's, very high up in the transcendental meditation organization. I do TM. I talk about that as a form of meditation. Okay. And he always says we come in, we're spiritual beings and we come in to have a physical experience. So I talk about that. And then I just saw an interview with Janelle Monáe. Trevor Noah interviewed her on The Daily Show. And I loved it. She said, I want to have the best Earth experience I can. And that may not be a direct quote, but that's, but she said Earth experience. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's better than physical experience. That's a Taurus desire. Okay. How can we have the best Earth experience? Saying and that's why Taurus is connected with pleasure. All right. And it's like pleasure through connecting to the material physical plane, which, yeah, Earth experience. So all right, so we're going to talk about that. So there are two big elements to Taurus that we want to try to connect to. We want to add them into what we're doing, whatever you got going with that Aries fire, right? We're still going to be doing that, but we're going to be adding value to it. This is what we should, what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to add value, meaning to it, right? If you can make money with it, for sure, and make sure it's connected to and to allow you to have that Earth experience. So we're going to talk about that. Now, Taurus is connected. All right, it's connected to Venus, and I'll tell you when I shuffled my deck and I forgot to take out the Taurus cards. So I was like, okay, I got to go through the deck now and find all the cards connected to Taurus to show you. And I just picked, and the first one I picked, I just separated the deck and the Venus card came out. And I was like, oh, okay, that's beautiful because, yeah, not only is it connected to Taurus, it's also, that was a nice inspirational message like, hey, yeah, we got to remember there's love everywhere. Always connect to Venus. Venus is grace, it's love, it's beauty, it's wonderful things. It's diplomacy. So I was like, I needed that message today because I was sort of like, well, let's not go into that, but yeah, I needed this message. So now, Venus is also connected to Libra. So the difference is when Venus is connected to Libra, it's more of the beauty element, the design, the balance, and oh, this is gorgeous. Okay, connected to Taurus, we get the money element for sure, because Venus is money. And Venus is the value. The relationship element also goes really well with Libra. Okay. Now with Taurus, we get the money, but Venus is also, then we come into the value, and then we come into, it's connected to the second house, which is about confidence. So issues of, what makes you feel good about yourself or others, and earned income comes with that. And so sometimes we almost connect too much, like we don't feel good about ourselves unless we earn enough money, especially in certain cultures. So we have to really say, well, what is really determining my value, and what really determines the value I put on someone else, right? So all of these issues come in, but Venus is diplomacy, and it is love, and it is about the other, because it's about it's about relating, and it reminds us of the human experience, is about connecting on a soul level, right? Yeah, we need that. And so all right, so we got all this. All right, so Venus is elevated, Taurian energy is elevated now, and so that means if you've got Taurus in your chart, you got your sun, you got your ascendant, your moon, or you just have a lot of Taurus, it's your time to step up to the plate, and it's make sure your step is not being skipped in any project or relationship you're involved in. You got to make sure. All right, that's part of what you came in to do. And for the rest of us, if you don't have Taurus, guess what? We get to like, it's a little bit easier to connect to that energy. Now, we've also got Mercury in Taurus and we've got Uranus in Taurus. So we actually got several planets going on. Yeah, we got some nice concentrated energy there. So it's going to be a little bit easier to connect to this very stabilizing and strong energy. That's where the fixity comes in. Okay. It is fixed energy. All right. This is the bull. All right. So this is when the bull is running. Yeah, you get out of its way. And if the bull doesn't want to go anywhere, you can push it as much as you want. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's the fixity that we all can have now. So I also talked about in last episode, as we transition, it's like, let's make sure we get on the right path because Taurus that's the strength and the fixity is that it's a little bit harder to make a course correction. So that's why, let's connect to our values to say, okay, just do a check in right now. Do a check in to say, okay, this is what I'm fighting for. This is the person I'm fighting for, or just what in general values. Okay, just make sure. Okay, yes. And then do it in a steady, stable, fixed way. Okay, that's why we say like Taurus is tenacity. It's persistence, it's tenacity, tremendous strength. Okay, so these are the things to kind of, all right, think about now. And yeah, and the earth is, it's like literally it's like nature for sure. Anytime energy is in earth, you can rejuvenate through nature, and flowers are blooming, there's a lot of beauty, okay? And it's also just it's the physical body. Earth is, it's take care of yourself. Now, when we talk about self-care, sometimes, Virgo, we talk about Virgo is self-care and that's earth. But Taurus is self-care in a way that combines pleasure. That's why we say like indulging. We say, go to the spa and like, or like have a bubble bath, or like it's got to be, indulgent. So think about food. Food is nourishment on a purely earth level. Yeah, we all got to eat, and you can just eat, all kinds. You can eat something that doesn't even taste good, but it can nourish the body. But a Taurian says, but it's got to be delicious, right? And you want to have that. And I think of what Jose Andres is doing with the World Central Kitchen. Okay, he's set up in Poland and maybe even Romania, and it's and he's feeding, okay, refugees from Ukraine. And he does this. He goes all over the world where people really need food, but he doesn't just. So yes, he's nourishing them in a very practical earth way. But this is just an example of like what I'm talking about with, adding the pleasure element. But it's like gourmet food, right? And so you can be in the middle of a war and your life is, but like it's saying, this is the human element that to add however we can pleasure, right? So that it's food, but it's going to be it should taste good, right? So it's really, we want to connect to all of our senses. Taurians learn through their senses, right? Now, sure, all of us do to a certain extent, but it's something that if you have Taurus energy, you kind of excel at. And for the rest of us, it's like, think about what that is. It's like really be present with the taste. Like most of us, yeah, we're pretty good with like, we want food and, taste like that. But smells, really smell like the different flowers and all the different, what is the scent, like textures. What do things feel like when you put on, the clothes with Taurus? It's like, make sure that you like the texture. How is the texture informing you? And I was, like looking at a book, like I like to read a real book where you feel the page and is the page heavy? Is it light? And it's like, that's part of the experience um, of really involving all of the senses. And so we want to think about how can we do that, because it's just saying it's a way to learn and it's a way to experience. Well, think about it. It's a way to experience our bodies, right? If we're having, it's having a real physical experience, our best earth experience, then that involves all of those human experiences, right? And touching, it's like there were, and so you know what? Okay, a couple things of touching and value. I just saw Stephen Colbert interview Julia Roberts, and he was saying, "Oh, you've been married, 20 years. What do you think is the most important thing to a good marriage?" And she was like, "Well, you've been married for 28. What do you think?" And he said, well, okay, she said kissing, which is like touch. Okay. So that's touch is very, very important. It's a very Taurus element that has really been disrupted through the pandemic, and we could see that with Uranus and Taurus. And if you're I did a little video on that about the disruption of the Taurus touch with Uranus, and we still are in that energy and we're getting back to it. So it's like, let's think about that. And then Stephen Colbert said apologizing, which is very much like a value. That's a value, right? Of like, you need to apologize. So we're thinking of, think of what are your values, and then how do the senses inform you? Okay. And then I'm thinking of like the beginning of Watermelon Sugar, where it's like, this video is dedicated to touching. Okay. So it's that's Taurus. It's the importance of all of the senses, right? And so anything we can do to connect to that, it's going to make us feel better. We feel, because it gets us in our body, right? It gets us present. And yes, I'm all into, like, I'm meditating and I'm very much in my head. I've got so much air. So, you've got all this. It's even more important, though, to really indulge. And as it says here, yes, it literally says on the card, on the earth card, indulge your senses. Yeah. Embrace earthly pleasures as safely as you can. You always want to be safe, but like, yeah, embrace earthly pleasures. Okay. And it's very strong, manifesting energy. Okay. So also realize how much you can get done. All right. By connecting with that beautiful manifesting energy. Okay. So, all right. Now, a couple of things. Oh, yeah. I also thought of Mary McCartney and Meatless Mondays. Yeah, I even saw that on Morning Joe. But it's like, think about those things. Think about the food, the nourishment, the sense. I even saw something with Billie Eilish talking about how important smell is to her, and she developed her perfume. And it's like, it's like think about, like, oh, the lotions you want to put on. Sometimes I just like, oh, I'm going to take medicine. I don't care what it tastes like. Well, it's almost like Taurus is like, well, you kind of want a spoonful of sugar with your medicine. You want to go ahead, even when you get something that's good for you, you want it to have that element. So even if you have a cream that's going to be really good, it's going to work, it's going to have value, but it's also either going to be beautiful and it's going to feel good. It's like, why can't you? It's like you have your cake and you eat it too. That's what Taurus is on the highest level. Okay. It's like, that's what and so we have to be reminded that that's possible, right? And then we don't settle. Now, we've also got sensitive Pisces energy, Venus and Mars in Pisces. Now, that is the highest level of consciousness, and that is the least connected to the physical world. So, the Taurus and Pisces. Okay, so one way to combine Taurus and Pisces, all right? So say, like, you look at a book, right? It's a tangible product, right? It's tangible, it's something you can touch. There's tremendous value in it. And then, because there's all this talk of banning books, right? And one of my big values is freedom of speech, right? Okay. And so, that's something that I really fight for. Now, when you combine Taurus and Pisces, I talked about Pisces is also very artistic, it's sensitive, it's creative, and it's universal love. And it deals with the soul, issue of soul. Okay. And, and I talked about art is an expression of one's soul, right? So when you connect to someone's art, you are connecting to a part of their soul, right? And so when you read a book, when you hold a book in your hand, you're holding a little part of that person's soul in your hand, okay? And you're reading it and you're holding it. So that's why I say, like, touch the pages gently. Oh, look at the book, read the book as you turn the pages, okay? And so then if we talk about banning a book, we're banning a soul. And then if we, God forbid, burn a book, I mean, we're burning a soul. in my opinion. Okay. So let's really think about that. And let's combine Taurus and Pisces and really honor and value that's the combination of that energy, right? Of yeah. So okay. Now, all right, so let's do, okay, so I showed you some of the cards because the sun just entered Taurus. Now I want to pull some cards. It's the sun in Taurus Oracle card spread to bring in some inspirational messages that can unify the group. All right, because I'm all about how can we come together? How can we unify the group? Okay, and really come into alignment because it increases our power. Our power grows exponentially when we become unified. All right, okay, so let me just, okay, and I've got some notes. All right, so, oh, now I have to see. Oh my gosh. I know. Here we go. Oh, of course. Okay. So the first, oh yeah. Okay. So of course we're going to start with value. All right. Yeah, that's pretty easy. All right. The first card will be, how can we connect to our values? And I'm going to put in, I got to re-add these cards to the deck. Okay. So this is going to be, if we connect to this energy, it's going to be a little bit easier for us to connect to our values and be inspired by them, right? Okay. Okay. And just to we want to have greater awareness of the power from our values. Yeah. Yeah. And I just saw, gosh, what is her name? I just saw, oh, Mallory McMorrow. Okay. I didn't know about her, but she's out of Michigan, a politician from Michigan. And oh my gosh, that's another story to go down. But there's, you know, boy, this has been in the news. Rachel Maddow's been talking about it. They've been talking about, and what's a little bit of what happened with Ketanji Brown Jackson. This, anytime you talk about pedophilia, okay, this is like just throwing that around, right? And apparently, it was just thrown in a letter accusing her of grooming and doing some things that were very inappropriate, and it's really hard to swallow. But she was so poetic talking about it, and that's values. She's connecting to her values and talking about how she's going to fight for this, as she said, as a Christian straight woman, okay, like white woman of like, and she's going to fight for trans, she's going to fight for everybody. And I always talk about that. We got to fight for people who aren't in our group, we got to fight for everybody, and that's important. But that is just such a serious topic that, if something has been done to you, then, it's like, you go watch the Evan Rachel Wood documentary, okay? Phoenix Rising, okay? When something has been done to you, then I will, then you can talk about, right? You talk about it and you talk about the person when you're comfortable, right? But for somebody to be like, just saying like, oh, you've said this, so I'm going to call you that, or to be calling people, it's a type of soul murder, um, to do that. And so you're going to be accusing that is, it's kind of terrifying. And so that's something that we can all get behind and fight for, because those are fighting for values, right? And saying the value of love and the value of tolerance and the value of truth. So, okay. All right. So, all right, let's help connect to our values. Let's help connect to our values. Okay, here we go. Together. All right. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Oh, my gosh. All right. Chiron. Chiron reversed. Let the light back in. Okay. This is a deeply healing card. When Chiron shows up, it means you have tremendous powers of healing and regeneration, but that they're also deep, profound wounds. And so, if we want to connect to our values, it could also mean connecting to our trauma in a way of saying, through trauma, we learn. and through healing and through sharing healing, right? Yeah. And, Chiron right now is in Aries. And so that means we have to fearlessly heal, right? Yeah. And, and that means we have to fearlessly heal is that can be kind of scary, right? It can mean it's a little scary to reveal your values right now, which it is. You reveal your values and you get some horrible accusations thrown your way or such polarity. All right. So, all right, we're going to connect to our values means we also it's the path through healing, okay? Because this is healing energy. So anytime you pull Chiron, that means healing is going to help you get whatever you asked about. So if we said, okay, how can we help connect to our values and do wonderful things by connecting to our values, right? Knowing that if we do that, we will heal ourselves and heal others. And it really is more important than ever now. So we're going to continue that. And because it's in Aries, we're going to fight for our values, right? Because Chiron is in Aries and we asked about embracing our values, we're going to fight for our values and we're going to heal ourselves and we're going to heal others. But it does mean it's going to be a little difficult. This is not an easy card. Yeah, Chiron is not zippity doo dah. Chiron is, it's going to be painful and you're going to have opposition. Yeah. And you're going to have some, well, some hate thrown your way, but but we're going to fearlessly fight for our values and we will put healing energy into the world, even though, yeah, it's not an easy card. Okay. But it's important, but it's positive because it's healing. Okay. Wow. All right. Okie dokie. Now, oh, pleasure. Yeah. Okay. Second card. Oh, yes. How can we rejuvenate through connecting? How can we bring pleasure? We got to bring some earthly pleasure in. Yeah. Okay. Let's bring, how can we rejuvenate through connecting, increasing our pleasure and our connection, yeah, to our earth experience. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, let's get some pleasure and some earthly experience in. I got a lot of cards I'm shuffling. All right. Let's do one more right now. Okay. Amen. Okay. Mutable. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. So how can we rejuvenate our senses and pleasure? Guess what? Mutable means we got to bend like a willow. We got to be flexible. Yeah. We have to connect to our most adaptable parts. Now, it also means when mutable is reversed, it supports the fixed energy, which Taurus is fixed. So it's actually saying we got to really understand, we got to really connect to our stamina. We don't give up. It's like fixed means you don't give up. You may feel like giving up, but you don't give up. You keep going. Okay. So immutable reverse is saying the same thing. So if we want to connect, increase pleasure and rejuvenate through our senses, it means we have to really, really not give up and choose and conquer. Yeah, make some choices. Okay, that's interesting. But it's like it's definitely very strong energy. And it's also saying by connecting to our senses and by doing some of those activities, we're going to rejuvenate through them and it's going to increase our pleasure. It's like if you make those ordinary tasks like eating, or where you take and it's like, oh, that's so delicious, or you feel a page of a book, right? Ordinary things we do every day that we sometimes don't think about, you start deriving pleasure from that, real pleasure. And then all of a sudden we rejuvenate because that's what life is, are these small little moments, right? Of our routine, of these little things that we're doing. That's beautiful. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now this is okay. The third card, stamina. Okay. All right. How are we going? This card will help us connect Two, it will help to fortify and give us some stamina and help us connect to the fixed energy, which I'll tell you, when we get mutable reversed, we need more fixity. That's what that means. We have got to really recharge and get the stamina and not just be like, whoa, Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so this is going to, and let's embrace this, and it will make it easier for us to embrace the beautiful fixed energy of Taurus. Yeah. Yeah. And Scorpio's fixed. Yeah. Aquarius is fixed. Oh, man. Okay. All right. This is going to help increase our stamina. Saturn. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So if we want, what's going to help us? Well, we are going to, this is like being responsible. And this is like getting a little serious, right? And Saturn helps to create something that is long lasting and permanent. So it's like that makes a lot of sense. If we want to increase our stamina and connect and say, okay, how can we connect to the fixed energy? It's like well, that's funny, adulting. Now I'm thinking of that. It's like, okay, yeah, we have to embrace those adult parts and saying, okay, let's what do we need to stick to? And let's, and it's a little hard, Saturn is a little hard. So we have to think about, okay, it's we're it's you can be exhausted. You can slow down a little, right, with Taurus, because maybe you got too exhausted under that hot Aries sun, right? But it's like we're still burning, but it's a slower burn, but we're still burning. Okay, that's Saturn. All right. And it's also saying, it's like it takes a little bit longer. Saturn supports the slowness of Taurus because Saturn is connected to Capricorn. You know, it's it's like really looking, it's like looking ahead and saying, okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Wow. All right. Wow. Because yeah, Saturn is connected to Capricorn, connected to the goat, one little hoof, it's like it's all right. That's wow. This is a very all right. I'm always surprised and deeply inspired by these messages. I listen to them. I say, okay. All right, now, all right. So now we have another three. Oh yeah, confidence. All right. Because the second house is about confidence. Taurus is about confidence, right? So we want to say, how can we reclaim our agency? I talked about that a little bit ago, but that's a great second house claim. And if we embrace this energy, it's just going to give us it's going to give a nice boost to our confidence. You may want to check out, Katty K has this whole series of confidence code, and I did hear her talk about it on Mika Brzezinski's podcast, so you can check that out. But that's a second house issue, confidence. All right, let's embrace this, and let's try to boost our confidence. Let's try to get this going. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, confidence means it's like we should be able to try things and develop and explore. And David Mamet talked about this. I read, okay, this popped out. Okay, we're gonna take this. I'll go ahead and pull another card since that popped out. But he talked about this. This helped me so much. I read this, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. I mean, a long, long time ago. But it was about acting, right? And I was very afraid to be in front of anybody publicly doing things. I got very nervous because I was like, but I know I'm not good enough. This person's better and that person's better. And he wrote in the book, it's like, yeah, you're not going to be Meryl Streep the first time you go out. It's like, and nor should you be, nor should you have that expectation. But guess what? You have the right to try to get better. You have the right to get out there and do the best job you can do. That's how you improve. So I took that to heart, and I'll tell you, after I read that, that was in a book, that was in one of his acting books. It's like after I read that, I was like, yeah, okay. I was able to be in front of people. And I was like, you know what? I don't have to be better than you. I don't have to be better than you. I have I'm going to be the best I can be right now. And hopefully tomorrow I'll get better. And then hopefully, I'll be better than And so it's a totally different way of looking at it. But that was just like, I was just able to be in front of people after that. So this is confidence. You got to, this energy is going to help us to be confident. Okay. It's important. Here we go. Okay, I'm in. All right. Whew. All right. Libra energy. Okay. So Libra energy is going to boost our confidence. Well, guess what? Libra is connected to Venus. So now we got Libra and Taurus elevated. This is grace. This is beauty. This is diplomacy. Okay. So, oh, and guess what? We got the 10th. Oh, yeah. Okay. The 10th house reversed popped out for saying, what is going to boost our confidence? All right. So, relationship. Okay. Now, the relationship change, this can be a positive change. People see this and go, oh my gosh, I'm getting a divorce or what? No, not necessarily. You could be like going out on a date. You could be like, moving in together. Okay. So, this is relationship energy when you get 10th house Libra, and it's also connected to Venus, obviously. Okay. So how can you reclaim your agency? All right. And boost your confidence. All right. Embrace assertive diplomacy, right? Embrace just the way that when I first picked the Venus card and I felt love, and you be reminded that love is everywhere, and the importance of relating and connecting and of teamwork, right? It can even be collaboration. This doesn't have to be romantic, okay? This is collaboration. This is, how we all form a group, right? And it's like, okay, collaborating, working together, having teamwork. Yeah. And it's also what's going to boost confidence is embracing rational data. Yeah. Along with it's like you always want intuition, of course, but you also need some rational data. I just saw Neil deGrasse Tyson last night on what Stephen Colbert. And I mean, and it's like, and he makes fun of astrology every chance he gets. Totally fine. Because, because he's wonderful and he's just full of all this wonderful knowledge. Okay. And it's like, but it's that kind of thing of, yeah, I love rational data, even though I'm deeply intuitive. I think we need both. That's also Libra is I'm going to listen to this, but I'm also going to incorporate that. And how can you blend? How can you blend both of those things? Okay. We don't have to have one or the other. You can blend them. So let's think about that. Okay. Now it's also ideas. Anytime you have an air sign, okay, we still have to be, we got to be thinkers. We got to be processing language. Okay. What are we really thinking? Right. And we have to make sure that we're working on our communication skills and sharing that. This is also Libra's just dialogue energy. You know, it's that can be a conversation. It doesn't have to even be in person. It's a conversation, talking to each other. Okay. And so that's really beautiful. Wow. Okay. All right. Now, all right, let's look. Okay, oh, stability. Okay, so if we embrace this, we're going to help to bring in some stability, right, into our lives and primarily into relationships. Or say, if you don't have a stable relationship, embrace this energy and this can help stabilize a relationship, right? Okay, because we want to connect to that strong, stable energy. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh man. Okay. All right. Oh, Uranus. Okay, this is hilarious. I just asked about stability and we got the most unstable card. So you know what that means? Well, because we pulled it right now, this is how you use the cards. Your Uranus right now is in the sign of Taurus, which is just what I just said. So we do want to embrace Taurus energy, all right? But Uranus is awakening. So when you combine Uranus with Taurus, you're awakening your Taurian, your values, right? You're awakening your earthly desires, your need, you're awakening your desire to really have the best earth experience possible. And also now this also brings in some futuristic technology, because Uranus is the future. It's connected to Aquarius, right? And Taurus is money. That gets into like, you know, uh cryptocurrencies, which I don't know anything about, but just that it falls under that. But it does say, okay, technology is an avenue, right? This even involves, this involves social media. And then, so you know what, this is interesting. Uranus and Taurus together, uh, make sure your values are connected to your social media. Yeah, there's been a lot in the news about Elon Musk, and in Twitter, he was gonna buy a little bit, then he wanted to buy all of it, and he's a big believer in freedom of speech. He's got a lot of Gemini Aquarius in his chart, but um, you know, guardrails, right? Joe Scarborough talks about guardrails all the time. Okay, with freedom of speech. I really do believe in freedom of speech, but of course, we don't ever want to instigate violence or things like that. But this is a chance to say, make sure when you use technology, try to really connect your values, because it's kind of, we can just put something into okay, it's there, and it doesn't, and we become disconnected. Let's stay really connected to our technology in a Taurian, meaningful way. Okay. So our values can shine through Uranus, all right? And if we want to really create stability in our relationships with Uranus and Taurus, that means allow your values to awaken with someone. That means you may bring in someone who's like does something that's so shocking or just so different or just like awakens you. And sometimes that can be very uncomfortable. So it's like saying, go ahead and go to an uncomfortable place in your relationship. And through that awakening, you can then settle in a very stable way that's also electrifying, right? Because you want to be in something that's electrifying and exciting, but also you do want that stability, right? Wow, I'll tell you, man, it's like I never know, it's like amazing, but I love it. Okay. All right. Now, oh yeah, you know what? Let's talk about the group, right? Okay, so now we want to say, because a gift right now with Taurus energy is not just like, okay, how can we value ourselves and do that? How can we value others? Because that's a real Taurus gift, is to say, oh yeah, I see value in that project you're doing, like Shark Tank. It's like, okay, yeah, you're worth this, you're worth that. Some people have that gift naturally, but we all value, right? Even if it's like, oh, thank you for cooking me this meal or whatever. It's like making sure that this energy is going to inspire us and help us to value others, the group, right? Because we always want to be, we're part of a group. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This energy is going to help us to value others. Okay. 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 Mm. Jupiter. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is optimism. Jupiter is believing, is daring to believe, right? And to have hope. So this is beautiful. So how can you value people right now and value the group? I mean, boy, we got to spread hope, right? It's hard watching the news. It's hard, right now. And I really connect to this. This lifts the spirit, right? So anything that you can do to spread some optimism and hope, and it's like, yeah, I know things are bad, but we can do something, right? Like Sean Penn has. I should share that again. I should share that with oh yeah, corresponse.org. Okay, he has that wonderful organization. He's in Poland. Oh, okay, maybe he's in Poland, Romania. He's his organization. Okay, so it's like there's always something we can do, right? We've got to be spreading hope, and staying. So that's Jupiter, right? Is believing. And also, this is also, remember, tolerance. All right, so how can we value others? It's that we are all different, and we have to celebrate that, not just put up with, right? Jupiter says, I celebrate that you're a different religion. I celebrate that, that we have all these differences, because and then we can create a dialogue, right? We blend or we coexist. So if we embrace that Jupiter, which is Sagittarius tolerant energy, yeah, okay, that is going to help us value people in the group. Yeah, I really connect to that. Okay, I think that's very, very true. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Now, all right. Oh, okay. This is nice. Now, how can we help the group to have the best Earth experience? All right. So now we know how we're going to, but I like this. So think about what, Jose Andres is doing, right? He's helping a group of people have the best Earth experience by doing that. I was inspired by that. So, okay, let's embrace this and let's see if we can if we embrace this energy, we can help the group have the best Earth experience, right? Okay, it's really important. Okay. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Here we go. All right. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, my. Oh, this is so funny. I was just talking about Julia Roberts, and we got the Something to Talk About card. We haven't had that in a while. Okay. It's a Bonnie Raitt song, but she was in that movie. All right. Okay, so how can we help the group to have the best Earth experience? Okay, Mercury, this is communication. This is, we have to communicate and share our ideas and our words to have that, right? So when we say, oh, I have this idea and we're going to do that, and what if we do this and what if we do that? Okay. And it also means, now this is a little painful card this way. This kind of echoes Chiron. All right. There's some wounds. This means that that healing is needed. All right. So there's some fractured energy probably. All right. So healing is needed, but healing is possible. But we definitely have to organize our communication and our words. And often there is a message. And Jupiter's a message. I should have said that. Jupiter's a message too. We got to share our message to know that we can heal. So yeah, that's very important. All right. So we can help people then by having the best Earth experience. Let's make those connections. Libra Venus, it is about the other person, right? So we need to be really thoughtful about that. Venus and Mars are in Pisces. Oh, yeah, that's going to be, oh my gosh, that's my next thing. Okay. Oh, yeah, the next card. All right. I wanted to embrace, how can we embrace Venus and Mars in Pisces? Because it's empathy, it's creativity, it's universal love. This kind of goes right into the healing energy. Venus, since it's in Pisces, and Mars is in Pisces, let's take these actions it's like we're combining the water feeling, the empathy of that with the earth of Taurus, right? We want to combine these energies right now. That's very beautiful. All right. And poetic expression, right? Mercury, poetic expression. It's very, it's uplifts and brings people together. All right. So now let's add to this Venus and Mars and Pisces. If we connect to this energy, it's really going to deepen our empathy, inspire us, and just make sure that we don't get so overly attached to the earth, right? Because Taurus can really get, can I touch it? Then it's not, then it's real. Okay. We want to keep our hearts and all the feelings going with the compassionate watery Pisces. All right, we're gonna help embrace this. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh man. And Jupiter's in Pisces, which is very aspirational. I should have said that because we got the Jupiter card. So it's yeah, and Saturn's in Aquarius, so that highlights the Aquarius. Okay, here we go. Aries. Oh my, hey Aries, we're not done with you. You think, okay, I know you maybe got a little burned out, but guess what? Guess what? Yeah, we're not done with you yet. Okay. So, all right, so that's hilarious. So Venus and Mars and Pisces. How are we gonna really pull all this together? All right, we gotta go back. We gotta fearlessly fight for it. We're not done with the fighting, but just make it four. Keep doing it fearlessly and find new ways, right? Find new ways to use our creativity, new ways to unify the group, right? It's like, go ahead, if you like, oh, I have an idea. Okay. Oh, we haven't done that before. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, and that means Aries, you're back. Yeah, back in the picture big time. Yep. Okay, that's the fire. All right. So we got, yeah, so we've got so far, we got Aries and Taurus, and we got Libra, and then of course the Pisces and Aquarius we need because that's the Saturn is in Aquarius, and we've got, that energy. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, all right. This is a very complicated spread. All right. I'm going to take a picture of this and put it up and write about it a little bit more. Oh my gosh. I'm very moved by this because there's a lot of healing energy, but there's also, yeah, there's some difficult, it's some difficult energy. Now I want to pull a couple of more cards. All right. I want to pull something for the president, for the vice president, and I wanted to pull something to really bring us together, to help, really keep us on track because Taurus is such strong energy. But let me just check just in case, because I made some notes about some things in case there was something. Oh, yeah. You know what? Just to bring in a couple of nice quotes or things that, because, I hear things in the news. I'm like, oh, that's so Taurus. Let me be sure to share that. Caroline Randall Williams. She's a writer in residence and at Vanderbilt, and she's off and on Lawrence O'Donnell. Oh, but this was with Jonathan Capehart. Anyway, she had a great quote. She said, "My patriotism has a backbone." That she hopes her patriotism has a backbone, and that, we're talking about freedom of speech. We're talking about, you know, if you criticize something, what does that make you unpatriotic? And it's like, no, I'm saying you love what we criticize most is what we love the most because we're so passionate about it. Right. So let's also remember that it's actually a sign of love to have debate. Right. And that it doesn't mean you're not patriotic and it doesn't mean this, but we want like healthy debate on the topic, right? But I just thought, you know, and the backbone, I mean, that's backbone is Saturn, but still that's Earth, but Capricorn Taurus is there's a strength. It's like the buck stops here. You think of Harry S. Truman, okay? It's like there's strength, a Taurus or Capricorn, this energy of like, okay, the line is not drawn in sand because sand, you could just, oh, okay, yep, there's, okay, that line's gone. It's like, no, the buck stops here. It's like there's a strength, okay, with some of that energy. So that's where we want to connect to that, right? And also know that that the debate is so important. But I was inspired by that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah, I was just thinking of some things. Oh, yeah, when we're thinking of like, when we got the Jupiter card about, and I always talk about this, but we got Jupiter and Saturn and Uranus, and Jupiter is tolerance. And we have to really, there's no one right way to be. John Oliver had this whole thing on false confessions, and it was all about, oh, you're supposed to, people stare, it means this, or they blink and it means that. And it's like, okay, maybe sometimes, but they found out that it's like, no. And it's like, yeah, of course not. We're all so different that we have to, get to that point where we're really celebrating what makes us different. And we really do at least actively work on blending or coexisting, right? And really coming from that place of that we're really different, and we have to remember that. And I think of the quote about autism, all right? And 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 well, I have that. You know what? I'll come back to that. But yeah, Rick Glassman talked about, it's like, so you've met one person with autism. Okay, you've met one person with autism, but it's like everyone's different. Whether you have autism or not, it's like, we really have to, I think, get back to that. And some of these cards at least spoke to me about that. So I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so just think about, combining the beauty with the earth. When you think about Venus and Taurus, beauty with the earth, value with the earth, with the physical. And sometimes it's a way into energy. Just give one or two words to something. I did want to, yeah, because sometimes people can get overwhelmed with the energy. So I try to break it down. So it's just, it's just a little bit. It's like, okay, give one or two words to it, and then you can think about it. All right, now, yeah, we are so polarized. Okay, let's get a beautiful card for our president, beautiful card for our vice president, because I always say it doesn't matter whether you voted for these people or not. They are making they're making decisions that have the potential to raise the consciousness of the planet. So they need our love. We want them. You want them to make the best decisions they can make. And people make the best decisions when love comes their way. You can still debate and disagree and give criticism, but best decisions come from more love in the world, not more hate. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. If we pull this, yeah, let's go ahead, and if we embrace this, we're going to put healing energy, because that's healing energy for our country and for our president. All right. Amen. Okay. Oh yeah, and I just saw some interviews with his sister Valerie, and I was very impressed. She runs his campaigns, and he, even years ago, uh, he fought for a bill that fought for there's violence against women, and he was one of the earliest people to really publicly fight for that and fight for that bill. And then he's, I mean, just he's a big feminist. He really is. Oh, I love it. Fire. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, there's Aries fire energy too. Okay. So, all right. So what can we do? All right. We have to connect. All right. So if we're going to help our president, yeah, it means we got to be actively doing things. I'm a little, yeah, exhausted. I'm not going to lie, but this inspires me to make sure that we do actions. Fire is, yeah, we got to take actions. We got to think about what can we really do. Well, I'll tell you, even my making this show is an action. This is an action. Hopefully I'm putting some love into the world, some inspiration. Okay. So we got to all take actions, right? Yeah. This is from Macbeth. Be bold and resolute. Okay. Yeah. So, and that is very Aries. We got to be bold. Yeah, we got to be bold. We got to be fearless. That's beautiful. Okay. And we got to do things. That's beautiful. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. So now, yeah, let's get one for the vice president. Yeah. Kamala Harris. All right. And we got the Libra card, which she is Libra. So that's fine. I'll tell you, that Libra card comes up a lot. Well, with all the polarity, I mean, we need that. We got to balance the scales. Okay. Yeah. And then more Taurus. There's also Taurus energy. Well, you know what? I feel like this was coming out. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to take it, but I'm going to pull another one. That one just kind of came out. We got the Capricorn card. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we need Capricorn energy. And we got Saturn too. So Capricorns, that also means step up to the plate. Capricorns, they keep us on track too. They can like plan and schedule, and they also slow us down a little bit, but they manifest, right? And Capricorn, Saturn is connected, and they can build things with longevity. So it's saying we got some good stuff going last month, right? And now that we're in, the second sign of the zodiac, we can really create some stability and some permanence, and, climb every mountain, yeah. It's like we can manifest. So we need the Capricorns to come in. It's also, we got to honor some experts with that. We need, we need to really honor some expert knowledge. And okay, here we go. All right. Okay. Amen. The sixth house. Okay. So, how can we, yeah, again, this is saying as a group, pay attention to your health and the way you accomplish your daily tasks and routine. It will make you more productive. So then you're going to, well, okay, you know what? I mean, I did kind of just knock that off. We just got the fixed card again. We just got to, okay, we got to really connect to the fixed energy. We do not give up. This card okay, we're not going to give up. I was getting a little, I have to say, okay, this has recharged me. Okay, we got to honor this. But sixth house, and I still haven't taken care of my routine. So, but you know what? I'm inspired by it. Do the best you can. Make sure you get the routine that supports you, your daily routine. Take care of your health. Taurus is the physical world. It is your body. The better we feel, the more energy we feel, we're going to have more energy to take in action. I took it. It's taken all of my energy to even do this show today. I was like, I was supposed to do it hours ago. So, you know, okay, but I did it. So think about that. It's like, okay, just don't be so hard on yourself, but we got to keep going, right? And we got to do it, but address these issues, right? These sixth house issues. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. Let's get this one for, oh, this is okay. I wanted to, oh gosh, bring us all together. Let's keep us on track, all right? Let's bring us together and keep us on track. And I'll tell you, if you're still wonky with this transitional energy, you can check out my social media, Heather Arielle's House of Astrology. I did a couple of videos on my YouTube channel, a couple of podcasts on Astro Oracle. Talks about creative ways to deal with transitional energy. And you can check out something I did on music, how to use energy to transmute your energy. And, you know, that can be really good. You can, check out oh gosh, I have no time. You can check out Booksmart. It's a wonderful movie that Olivia Wilde directed, and it's just what the beginning, the two characters are these high school students, these girls, and they greet each other and they dance, and I just thought, things like that. It's get in your body. Taurus is also very. I can talk about this next week, but Taurus is very connected to voice and sound. A lot of great singers have Taurus, so we'll highlight music this month, but also dance because Venus and Mars is in Pisces. So yeah, make sure you get physical dance, listen to the music. And if you're interested in, these oracle cards or my planner, you can get them on Amazon. You can get them on my websites. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Let's all come together. All right, bring us together. Let's keep us on track. Amen. Oh, second house. Look at this. Okay. You know what this means? When we get, when we get this, we just pulled Taurus cards. We got to really connect to this Taurian energy. If you've got Taurus, will you please help us? Please help the group right now. We're skipping your step. Okay. Don't let us skip your step. Okay. We got to connect. How are we going to bring us together and keep us on track? We got to connect to our values, value other people. We have to build our confidence, give confidence to other people. We got to take care of money too, take care of some financial deals, right? But this is a confidence card. This is a value card. And Taurus, and then all things Taurus, right? Yeah, are really elevated. Okay, so all right, we'll explore some music and some dance and that side of Taurus next week. But yeah, until then, enjoy and embrace transformation.